How's everyone doing today? Today is March 17th. It's a Wednesday, my dudes. No. So, happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Make sure you guys play some Flogging Molly, play some Dropkick Murphys, play some Come On Eileen, I guess, is that one? Come On Eileen. Is that really a St. Patrick's Day song? I don't know. I obviously wore my green today. No, I actually wore red because at 6 a.m. when I wake up to go to work, I don't actually check what clothes I'm wearing. I just put on clean stuff and call it a day. So, oops. If you're new here, what's up? If you're new, this is a channel dedicated to beginner and intermediate traders. If you're really good at this, get the hell out of here. I don't want you here, nerd. No, I'm kidding. Beginners, if you're ever on the TikTok, if you're ever on the Snapchat, on the Facebook groups, on anything, if you're on any of these websites, in other YouTube channels of losers who aren't as cool as me, you know, I probably have more tattoos than every popular stock trader combined. And piercings, I definitely got them beat. You know, it's definitely part of the clout, right? No. But if you like to know how they find stuff, I'm here to show you, right? What do they see? Are they really looking at this technically, looking at this fundamentally? Are they just using hype stocks to get you into buy meme stocks and then they can get views and get AdSense revenue? Probably. But, you know, I'm looking at, you know, about 8 things is what I'm going to show you. Supports is a huge. Trend line and patterns are huge. EMA lines are huge. Volume profile, awesome. RSI, stochastic momentum indicator, and the vortex indicator. Those 8 things, if I see 5, 6 of them lining up to look good, I'm going to buy into that stock, right? I'm going to like that. Ooh, a little snacky snack. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to show you beginners what I look for. Intermediate traders, if you are also new here, what's up, dude? If you are really good at what you do and you want to expand your knowledge, I'm here to help. You need to diversify. That's why I always tell our intermediate traders, diversification is huge. Many of you guys got started 3, 4, 5 years ago, 2, 1 maybe. You know, 3, 2, 1 liftoff. What's happening though is that a lot of folks are leaving the technology sector and moving into things that folks need to buy to live, right? Healthcare stocks are huge, financials are huge, consumer defensive is huge right now. And again, this rotation isn't always going to take the same amount of time. You know, there may be like a 3-month rotation, like whoop, 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 really quick to that little graph that we have, but it also may take a few years sometimes, right? When you go into recessions, resurgences, you know, whatever it may be, things are going to change. If you buy all tech stocks because they were really good for months now, you just bought an ETF. I don't know what are you doing. You just bought 12 tech stocks and now you got micromanage when you could have bought QQQ or whatever, right? What are you doing, right? If you only have 3 stocks and it's like, oh, CCIV looks good, Sundial looks good, and SunW looks pretty good. What are you doing? You got to diversify. You got to have things in different sectors. I'm here to show you some great tickers and stocks in different sectors you've never even heard of that also absolutely kill it. With that also being said, which I say a lot, also being said, with that being said, if you enjoy this content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, ding, 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 let me know, right? Hit it up. The more folks who comment, even they put like, comment for algorithm, sick, dude. I don't care. I respond to everybody, but I'm like, thank you. The more likes, the more shares, the more subs, the more folks will find this video. And again, I don't really care about AdSense revenue. It helps. That's tight. We're not gonna be one of these guys who's like, hey, I don't like making money. I'm not like the other people. But here's 4 free Weeble stocks. Like, shut up, idiot. Right? I like the AdSense revenue too. But the more folks who can see this, the more folks it's gonna help. Just by liking it and putting a comment does help folks find it. YouTube algorithm does work that way. I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, it's chill too. I'm not that butthurt about it. If you really like this content, if you really think I'm funny, which, God, why would you, right? I'm in my own classroom by myself screaming at myself. If you find this content entertaining, educational, whatever it is, I have a Discord chat. And again, I have about 16, 20 spots left open until I close it off until it's a full room and I'm happy with it. If you want to check it out, 7-day free trial on me. I got you. No credit card information, no social security number. I need your blood type though. No, I'm kidding. So if you want to check it out, let me know. My Discord name will be at the end of the intro and in the description box. Just add me as a friend. You know, I'm pretty cool. I play games a lot. So you want to catch me on some Overwatch, come get these hands, big fella. You want to play some Rocket League 2v2? I got you. Otherwise, check it out. If not, you want to just enjoy me on YouTube, that's fine. And the last thing I like to mention every single time, very briefly, is that I am extremely, extremely good at what I do. And that is to find really good value in swing trades. I should not be the end-all be-all for all of your education for stocks, right? I should be a foundational piece, a pillar, whatever dumb metaphor about a house you want to make. I should be a part of it. But there's plenty of other valid people The second somebody's like, I'm the only one you should be listening to, I'm it, you gotta pay me, pardon my French, but fuck them, honestly. Right? You should definitely look for somebody who gives you free information, but also encourages you to go find other people. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm really good at swing trading value stocks. But if you want to get into day trading, you want to get into more broad topics like, you know, wheel options and stuff, not here, big fella. That's not me. I do what I do. Right? So again, go look for other people. Always be trying to learn. Always be back testing. Always be super critical of what I'm doing, because I need that to be honest, humble, and then also to be on my game too, right? You should always be doing that. So with that being said, after me being super hard on myself, after this 6-minute intro, shit, all right, let's get into it, boys. So as we can see above me, we have 8 stocks, tickers in our trusty poop list. Again, we could change it, but superstition dictates otherwise. And below it is our intermediate plays for the day. We have like, what, 10? You know, about 10 or 11 plays at intermediates I've called before. You probably recognize about 8, 9 of those. And again, if you watch the show religiously, you would. Otherwise, these are plays for people who are a little more experienced. So again, take it with a grain of salt if you're a beginner. You need to use those as education. The first 8 you can use to actually trade. Before every ticker, again, there's going to be a 5-second little clip of the stonk guy sitting there and says the ticker symbol. Pause the video, go into trading view, trade 2112, whatever it is. Go in think or swim, Weeble, I don't care. Chart the supports, resistances, trend lines, and notice any patterns that you see. Think about those. And then go through and watch the indicators on your screen. What do you see? And then when I talk about it, you can then make some good adjustments and some good topics, and you can see if you're learning or not. And this is a educational experience, and it's applicable. But again, education is the key with this. If you were in my Discord chat, you would have remembered me saying, hey, y'all, if the S&P continues to dip, you should look to buy in probably around 39.30. And if that doesn't live, you should go ahead and try and buy in around 3,900. And so as we can see, it's doing exactly what we want it to do. Now it's making a wick. So like, if this continues here, if this continues and it dies here, well, then we're in no man's land. We have no idea which way it's going to go, right? If this does in fact stop here for the day, are we really at support? Are we really at resistance? I'm not really convinced either way at this point. So if it does end here, tomorrow's entries should be a bit more concerning to you and more confusing. If it does end at if it closes up here, that's a whole different story. If it ends like red down here, well, then we can anticipate more sell-off. The same goes for the NASDAQ. And again, it's right at resistance. It's trying to break above it. If it ends here, I would be inclined to probably short it. You know, go ahead and get yourself an SQQ and maybe look to short it. The technology stocks, again, sold off. And again, they're no man's land. What we're doing, no idea. The Russell 2000. Again, this is where I put my buy-in zones. If the Russell 2000 ends here, it closes here, I'd be a bit happier if it closes down here. If it closes down here, you know, we got to adjust this, of course, and be like, well, you got to be really accurate. Like, that's probably a better one. If it closes here, okay. If it closes down here, we'll see. Right, and of course, the Dow Jones has been trucking right on along. And is it a mistake that's bouncing off this resistance trend line? It's not. So make sure you know your major markets. You can really time your entries better with that. So if you watch ES, for example, and we can see that it was coming towards this support area right over here, you would have timed your entries. You'd be really happy so far today, right? Overtrading is a huge issue with beginners. So if you're a beginner, don't feel the need to trade everything all the time. Doesn't make any sense. With that being said, let's get into it, shall we? I'm Joshua Wiseman. What's up, Josh? So first is AES. Off the bat, we can see that it's a beautiful trend line up. If we go to the 10-year chart, if it's an uptrending stock, go to the 10-year, check it out. Is this concerning? Not really. You can see it used to be in a channel horizontally, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then again, it shot up. So again, there must be something that's leading to this. We could also see, this is also trending kind of how it probably would have regardless of the pandemic. It was definitely uptrending like this. You see that? Let's look at that. All right, so it's uptrending like this fairly well. So maybe it'd be a dash lower, but again, it's not super high to where it probably was projected to be anyways. So keep that in mind. It's making an ascending triangle though. from here to here. You can make a resistance like this. This is making a beautiful ascending triangle. These are daddy's favorites. These are hard to find. On huge run-ups and huge sell-offs, they're hard to find these. But when they develop, they're really nice because the risk versus reward is super obvious, right? I would love to buy AES closer to $26. And I don't pay unless it's a really good value. Now, it makes sense that it's reversing here. I can put my cursor there. You can see in that 2-4 date, the little red candle bounces there. 222, it bounces around, it looks like 3-3, 3-4 bounces. So again, this is a strong support area. Mine's down here. Draw your own. And you can easily see we have an easy 8% to run up, but we also have what could easily be another 6% running down, right? Possibly 4% and some change. I want to get inside of this channel. Now, that's probably one of my biggest downfalls is I am very, very picky about the values I buy into because of my risk versus reward. But this is a beautiful setup nonetheless. It's a really good channel up. Even if you don't want to use the triangle, you can even go like, all right, well, it's technically higher high here, so it's wedging, but maybe you can draw resistance like this and say it's horizontally. Again, it's up to you. This is definitely a nice, strong stock, though it has some life. It survived earnings. So I think 26 is more of a medium price here if we can get into it. But AES is a great run up. You can see the POCs consolidating here. Maybe we can get it moved up here with more volume. But AES, a good setup. I like it a lot. It's trying to push higher volume. If we can do that, it's going to be a winner. Let's check the indicators. So if you're new here, new kid on the block, who are you, right? Gross. No. If you're new, I don't look at indicators while I scan. What I do is I go off price action alone. And then when I turn on the indicators, I use the 10, 50, 200 EMA lines. I also use RSI, stochastic momentum index, and the vortex indicator. I don't look at these until I'm with you guys. So you guys can see what I see live. It's a nice little show for you. La-ti-da-ti-da, da-da-da-da. It's a whole nice show for you. So that's embarrassing. So it bounces off the 200 like clockwork. Tick, 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 boom. So does it break it? It does, and it also saunters above it. So it's been a mixed bag. Sometimes it's, 3% above it. It's been 3.7. It's been 4. So again, it's bounced off the 50 and the 200, and right here it's bouncing off the 200. Am I fully convinced it's in reverse here? At this particular price, no. Am I highly convinced in this area it's gonna reverse? I believe so. And again, it's gonna come down to macro markets. If the S&P and such can break above and get some higher highs, this thing should be just fine. If we do see the S&P dip, it's so high up here, the chances are this is gonna also dip. But this is also not dipped off that hard. It's showing some good life here. The RSI is low. You must be dynamic. You must be a dynamic trader if you're a beginner. Put your cursor right where it is and look over. Does it reverse in this area often? It does. You can see at that, the first dip over there, the big one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times it's reversed at this area at 36. So it could dip down maybe a little bit farther, but you can see it's curling north. So it's down here at 36. It's showing some life. You'd be like, oh, it's not 30 though. Yeah, but it runs all the way up to like 70. So you got you got fucking 30 points. You're good. Stochastic is dummy low, but you want to wait for it to kind of go north. You want to see it curl, make a little hooky hook. You don't want like this. Yeah, you want to see it come down and then curl north. That shows some life. Vortex is the same as stochastic. It just shows green versus red volume. Again, it could be a tad bit lower, but it does reverse here. And we can then measure how long the red's up here. So we can see red, last one was 10 days. Right here, we'll go over 8 days. Red over here, fought above and stayed above for about 13 days. So we got about 7-10 days of it being red. It just crossed, so maybe the next 7-8 days it's going to consolidate, and that measures up pretty well, doesn't it? Right here, it's about 5 days. This consolidation period right about here, 5 days. So again, we have some time to think about. Don't rush into this. The reversals take its time. AES, a great pickup. Give a day or two. We're swinging, right? Throw the ball. Dinger. Oh, where'd I go? Right, we're swinging. We're not just trying to do one-day trade. Give it a minute. If it takes off without you, okay, you missed it. But otherwise, it's a good pickup. I like it a lot. Let's give it some time to kind of, really develop what it wants to do. Next is AMP. AMPressman Financial. I'm really smart and good at English. Ask anybody with my newsletters, my spelling is always perfect, and so is my grammar, right? So I can read AMPressman. A1. I got A's in class, not really. So we can see that we have some lower highs. Okay, it's making, it's not doing what you want it to do. But do we freak out? No, we use our historical data. Look at over here. Okay, it had some little baby lower highs on this move. It had some lower highs on this move, and it keeps pushing up. So the macro movement's a channel up. This doesn't line up perfectly. Okay, it doesn't line up perfectly, so it's a little bit of a wedge. So make sure you taper off your expectations. If you're on OkCupid, you're tampering your expectations. You're not on the nice sites, right? I'm kidding. But you can see it's a really good support area right here. Beautiful. Bouncy bounce. It bouncy bounced. It's bouncing bounce. So you have plenty of room to run up. Again, you're going to, with the market's doing good right now, maybe you're going to take a little bit extra risk here and risk 2.5%. God forbid. You have to risk 2.5%, you poor thing. And again, the worst case is you break even. It hits 2.5 here, right? You can get something. But there's no reason for me not to think this is going to run up and at least hit the top and sometime in the near future. Maybe it's going to come up, hit this resistance, you get 4 or 5%. But to think it can make a full move, yeah, it's pretty logical. I mean, it's done it multiple times, so not really freaking out about that. Especially if it's wedging, you can then, maybe adjust and be like, well, this is probably a better lineup. And then, it breaks. So, I mean, you could be like, all right, this is probably a more accurate one and make 6%. Again, it's up to you guys. I don't like to cut through price action, though. But price action alone, a beautiful channel up. It's a great value. We go off risk versus reward. Only idiots go off of, I can make this much money off it. Check out my sweet TikTok. No. We go off risk versus reward. You're going to be risking about, 2.5? You can make easily 4 or 5, if not 6 or 7. That's a 3-to-1. It's a good setup. AMP, I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. This is bouncing off the 50. Now, when I say it's bouncing off the 50, I want you to imagine some trampolines, right? When you bounce off a trampoline, it doesn't just go, right? It goes, duh. It caves. It's a little bit of concaveness to it, right? And we're kind of coming into this with not that much harshness, right? We're kind of coming in, we're kind of coming in, pretty light, okay? It's a little, So for it to break it makes a lot of sense. You see over here, a little bit more intense, right? It comes down a little bit harder, sort of breaks it harder, right? So this is good. They cross right back above the 50. If it holds here today, you can then use the support 50 and the trend line as your stop loss. You have 3 things holding it up, right? You have dummies who are only trading off of the 50 EMA line, right? They're like, oh, it's good on the 50, I'm buying it. You have some other idiots who are like, oh, this is good, the support, oh, it's near the trend line, right? So you have all these people who you're going to lasso these bad boys together, bring them all in, and you're going to buy it because of that, right? They're all buying it separately because retail traders are usually stupid. You're going to be smart. So that's really good. RSI could be lower, but again, would you sacrifice price action for RSI? I wouldn't. I would like to see the price action be good over the RSI being oversold. And you can see it does reverse here. It's uptrending, okay? Are you going to get a great value on an uptrend all the time? No. So you will sacrifice the uptrend or the RSI for a good price action. The stochastic, though, is dummy low and curling north. Pop a like. The vortex is trying to fight green. Pop a like. So we'll see. We'll see. But AMP, low risk, high reward, I like it a lot. Good uptrend, a bit overbought, but again, you like to see it. It's a good setup. DBD, Diebold Nixdorf Incorporated. I think that's a really cool name for a band, Nixdorf. I bet if I go to Sweden, I'll go to their capital city of Nixdorf. I'll be here all week. That's my time. Thank you, Atlanta. No, but this is a really good setup. Let's duplicate our channel support, and we can see at one point you probably could have considered this some form of a channel up. Now it's a bit of a stretch. All right, it's a little bit of a stretch, but to think that that's not viable is also incorrect. Let's just say it's good, channel up, but let's not get overly confident. Just like with AMP, again, it's probably above where I want to purchase it, me personally. But again, I want to look back at the reversal types. So if I go back here, what did it do? Slow, whoop, it came in and it took off. Right over here, it slowly came in, then whoop, it took off. Over here, what are we doing? We're slowly kind of, we're really kind of like a airplane landing. You don't come in landing in an airport like right there, right? Sometimes you come in, you kind of right. We're kind of like trying to hit that pavement and then curl up. We make a lot of bowl shapes, right? We have a lot of really nice looking little bowl shape, a nice bowl shape, a good looking bowl shape, long bowl shape. So again, just like this one over here, see how it kind of came down and just kissed that. Mwah. Yeah, mwah. We want to see that happen. So it's above where I'm at, but given that it does kind of have slow reversals, you have to then weigh your pros and your cons. Weigh them. We gotta weigh these bad boys like Indiana Jones. If we buy in now, knowing that the reversals do take some time, this right here took about 12 days to see some actual, some green. You could be down here for the next 5, 6, 7 days, realistically consolidating. So you gotta take that into consideration. If you think the market's gonna be red, and this is not gonna dip off as quick as the market, you think it's gonna be some red days ahead of you, why would you buy this now? Wait, 4 or 5 days. So again, I think patience is the key with this one. If we see some green, like this goes red, green, 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 then kind of it starts boiling over here, sure, go for it, right? But this is very low risk, high reward again, okay? Worst case, Ontario, you go, I lost 3%, and then if it shows life in here, guess what? It comes back up. You just buy back in if you want to, right? If you're really risk averted and you're like, I don't want to even risk it, wait for it to come in here, great. You want to wait for everything to break, 7%, whatever. But long-term hold, easily can see 9, 10, 13, 15%. Even these lines all line up perfectly like this. It's a nice little wedge kind of forming up here. Worst case, it runs up from right where you're at. All right, 14. The angle is probably more like this, but like 14, 15% for 3 to 4. I like it a lot. DBD, a good pickup. Just do your due diligence on what they do. Let's check the indicators. Oh, gadzooks, Batman. It's bouncing right off the 50. So that's going to be your go sign, right? This is what I would do. This is me personally. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not big smart. I'm just some jackass on YouTube with pink hair. So take it for what it's worth. But I would definitely wait to see it have a candle hold above the 50 EMA line. I don't mean let it break above and then the second it breaks above, you're like, mortgage my house, Fidelity, I want to go all in. No, let it break above it. Let it break above this and hold a green one. So I want to see a whole green candle like this right here. I want to see this above it and the 50 EMA lines down here. I want to see one effing hold. I want to see one like this, like a little baby one, probably like that. It's going to hold nicely, and then that shows some sign of strength, because then what can you do? You may be asking. Well, then if that breaks, well, now you can use the low of this candle and the 50 EMA line as your stop loss. You've now mitigated losses even more because you had some form of patience. That's what I would do. But again, who the hell am I? I'm just beautiful on the inside and out, whatever, no big deal. The RSI, again, is low. Does it reverse where it's at? Put your cursor down, and you can see in the months of August, it did it a few times. In September, broke below it, but then throughout this whole time, they reversed it a little bit higher. So we're at a good deal. It's uptrending. You're not going to get oversold constantly on an uptrend. Stochastic, though, is dummy low. We just want to wait for some north to come. I want to see this curl. I want to see it coming in that tarmac, and then take back off. Same with Vortex. Vortex just went red. And again, that's not a great sign moving forward for like a big positive movement. So again, if we want to measure how long the red is, you can even look down here. The red's not nearly as predominant up top than the green is. So again, it may take what? It took 11 days. This one took 13. So again, you may take 6 days of consolidation, and then you may take off. But DBD, otherwise, is a complete snack. I like it a lot. Next is HELE. This is the beauty of why I do my show live for my Discord folks, but also early in the day, because one, when the markets switch throughout the midday, like I say usually 9:30, noon, and then 2 o'clock are all different monsters in itself. Man, HELE today, I know somebody in my chat was like, y'all seeing this? And it came down, and it's already up like 4%, which may not seem like a lot to you guys, but if you're playing GMB losing 40% and I make 4, I'd rather take the make 4 every single time. This trend line is not, it's not the best. It's not bad, though, because it's only been broken by like a big wick, and that was a huge sell-off day. And so it's right here. You got, and this is for my Discord folks. You guys didn't have it because I'm not going to take it off. It's still in our loading zone, and now you can see we've easily another 5-6% running up. This is our first resistance line right here. I'll make that orange to stay consistent. Shit. So it has some room to run up. It has plenty of life showing. This is a great confirmation candle. Really easy read. It's a horizontal play possibly. It's a trend line play possibly. I don't see any patterns forming. I guess you could do this. But even then, that's kind of a reach that someone's like, oh, it's a perfect hit right here, dude. Like that's a little bit of a reach there. I'm definitely more inclined to say that this is a horizontal play, and then these are wicks are forming because there's no volume in that area. So good play. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. Huzzah! And this is why I knew I was going to do this, because I like HELE. I've called it multiple times at the 200. It's at the 200. And what are we going to do, everybody? We're going to wait. Yeah, that's climactic. Woo! No, we're going to wait for it to hold above the 200. That's your sign. See this? See this? We're like, oh, it held. No, idiot. Look at the one next to it. Test. Retest. And then it took off. Let's go over here. What did it do? Test. Over here. That's a good angle, you idiot. Over here. What did it do? Broke it. Then what? Retest. Right? Oh, it broke it. What did it do? Retest. So again, let's let it live here. This is a great value. It's a really good value, because now you can use this 200 EMA line, this all here. Worst case, you lose 1.5%. Go long, baby. That's a good setup. And again, I'd wait for it to hold above the 200. You must have patience if you're going to last in the stock market. I say every day to myself and other people, but every day, this is a marathon, not a race. Apply that same logic to every ticker. This is a marathon, not a race. We're not going to do the 100-meter dash, right? That's if you want to use the 2-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute time frames. 180 days. We got some time to kill, baby. Let it roll. Let it roll, right? RSI is low. Does it reverse where it's at? A little. Pretty good. So this is a good value based on it being uptrending. It does reverse here. Stochastic is, again, coming down. So I think we may want to give it a day or two to really kind of show where it wants to go to. Vortex just went red, so we may have a day or two of consolidation. It doesn't hang red very often on this ticker. When it does, it maxes out around 3 days in. So maybe in 2 days, you're going to get your best value when it retests. But HELE, going long over a long period of time, I like it a lot. Nova is one of my favorite stocks because some jackass on my YouTube comments, I put this trend line, and it was actually really beautiful. That's a great trend line. And it was right here. It was right here. And I said, hey, it's pretty good. And then they bought it without a stop loss and lost a bunch of money. Like, this guy's a loser. And then, like, a week later, it filled this gap, and it ran back up to where I thought it was going to be. And I was like, damn, how's that feel? Call me out, but you could just, sold it and bought back in a good, whatever. Loser. I didn't cry myself to bed or anything. I'm a grown adult. No, so we have a really good area of support. It's uptrending. And if you ever look into what a bump and run is, we had a bump and run. It was classic. This is a classic bump and run. We had our uptrend, and then it got steeper. And when this bad boy breaks, what's it going to do? Come back down to our uptrend. And that's exactly what it did. Now, we are in a downtrending channel. Is that a wedge down? Is that a channel down? Is that, I don't know. It's not clear yet. This is a weird candle, right? But I know that these are going to come down. So is it in a downtrend? Sure. Is this a good value? Sure. So again, take it with a grain of salt that if you're going to buy this, you must taper your risk and reward to this downtrending line. This is probably going to be where it's going to die at. If it breaks that, hold on, baby. We're going to be going long, fella. So it's showing life already off the bat. That's not good for your risk versus reward, but it's good for confirmation. If you want to buy in now, you got to risk 5, 6, 7% at least. So be careful. It's showing life early, but if it does live here, you can easily see 10, 15% a good run. So Nova's a good pickup. Let's check the indicators. It's bouncing off the 200. Bounce, bounce, bounce. So that should really be, and you see that lines up perfectly with this downtrending line? It's almost like technical analysis has some validity, but folks who are pompous assholes who go, it doesn't have any validity because my degree, that's great. I have a degree in education. Am I a good teacher? Yeah, I am, but there's plenty of folks who suck, right? So I don't trust education over politeness and character. So here we are. This is going to definitely bounce off of that pretty well. So you may want to, again, curtail your reward to that and don't be some jerk who's like, the reward's going to be $54. Go along. That's not going to happen. Not with this move, at least. RSI was dummy low and showing life. You have plenty of room to run up. So again, you're buying in at a green candle. It's a little bit higher than I would want to buy in, but you have plenty of RSI move to run up. Stochastic, again, dummy low. Everything is super low. Everything, if this was $1 cheaper, it'd be a 12 out of 10. It'd be great, but it's a little bit high for me. But Nova is a great pickup nonetheless. So Ride is a fickle beast. It has no business being down at the 1045. You can go back like 10 years and you can see that down here, if we were to zoom over, it was a new IPO. It didn't have much movement at all. But since then, I mean, this is a clear area of support. Now, can it get lower? Yeah, there's absolutely no reason to think that, oh, well, there's no chance it gets down to here. It doesn't, yeah, there's definitely is a chance. Let's not fool ourselves now. Now, is the logic telling you it can? Probably not. Line up your little downtrend lines here. You can see that, maybe it's still downtrending, but then you're kind of cherry picking because you're going to be like, well, actually, it's still downtrending if it gets over here. I would just go with maybe like this one right here and come down. This looks pretty good. So we're still downtrending, possibly in EMA lines right there. So again, would you want to curtail and put your price target based on that? I would. The only issue is if you do that, oh boy, I made 6%, which isn't terrible, but for this kind of move, you want to make more than that. So this is a really good area of support. It will consolidate down here. And again, we've been consolidating. So I mean, you may be down here for 6 days, maybe down here for 13 days. We've been down here for 5. So again, we have no real clear 6, 13, is it 7, 8, 9? We don't know. But it's showing some life here. Earnings is tomorrow and today. I assume it's going to be not good, but maybe my assumption. And again, I would wait for earnings to run. If earnings runs up like this, we missed it, okay, sure, whatever. I'm not going to get greedy, whatever. If it does tank down to like the, 1220s, maybe down to like this area, that's going to be cool. But this is still a really good area if it just kind of goes for earnings, does one of these, like it does one of these, which is popular for them to do during earnings, is like this kind of move where it's like, shit, it's pretty good, then it bounces again. Yeah, we can buy in there. So I give it a day or two, but just given the history of supports, it's a great pickup. Let's check the indicators. So the 50, you see I said, I think an EMA line's involved. Well, boy, gee willikers, it is. So make sure your rewards based off the 50. It looks like it's going to hit the 50 with the resistance right here. Look, this is going to probably come together and hit right there. If that's the case, I would definitely just sell like half my position there and like call it a day and get my money. So that's, not a great sign, but once it takes over the 50 and it's had a problem before, but like see how this, boop, boop, boop. This is a great example, actually. It's going off the 50, and then as soon as it kind of found an area of support, which we're at, it kind of consolidates out, and then it takes it over. That's when you want to really go long and throw your money at it. So I think it may come down farther. It may be down here for the next month or so, but Ride's a great pickup nonetheless. RSI low, stock low, Vortex is going to go red soon. So, I mean, you got some days to think about it, but when it comes to value, Ride's a great one. I am personally let the earnings report run and go off before I buy into it, but otherwise, it's a great pickup. I like it a lot. Next is VRT. I like VRT. I called VRT over here, and it ran up and did a 10% move. Beautiful. So let's move these out of the way real quick. I am obviously well prepared for my show. I really take time and consideration to do these. I'm still going to have this in the video because I don't edit anything up because I'm not a hack like some of you. Just kidding. XOXO. So VRT is a really good channel up. It's a really nice, mundane. It's chill. There's no one really getting overbought. Not often, not very oversold. And here we are at the volume line. It's really trying to break above it. This is higher. This is higher than I would want to buy it into. I would like to get in lower, but just like I said with the market moving up, I saw it down here. Now, again, what's the worst case? 5%. What's the best case over here? 5, 6, 7, 10%. So it's still a 2-to-1 ratio. It's still really good. If you like to see some life before you buy it, well, there's your life, big fella. It's looking pretty good. I like it a lot. Super simple play, not considering a harp on it. This is obviously a hard resistance to a 2140, so you must take in consideration. If it hits 2140, you should try and secure some profits. If it blasts above it, like it does over here or over here, again, let it run, baby, but put a trailing stop loss, but you must secure your profits. Only idiots don't secure the profits. Let's check the indicators. A 200 EMA play. Oh, boy, Batman. So that's probably low as it's going to get. This is probably where you want to get it. It does break the 200 EMA. Broken, broken, broken. So if it does come down a little bit farther, I'm not going to be shocked. I'm not going to be upset. And that's okay. So it looks really good here. RSI is good for where it usually is. Okay, let's put the cursor where it's at. It reverses there. It's an uptrend, so getting 30 is dumb. But it's at 49. You got plenty of room to run up. It usually hits around 42. You got about, I'm good at math. 13 points. Big brain. 12, 13 points to run up. That's plenty. Stochastic went north, so we got plenty of time to run this bad boy up, and then you get some money. Vortex just went red, which is a bit odd. But I think that's probably because of this huge sell-off. So if we can see the green also curl north, VRT is going to be a great pickup. I like it a lot. Simple play, not too much reward, not too much risk. But again, beginner play, tasty. So if you're a beginner, those are 7 great plays that you can play today. Now, get the hell out of here. No, I'm kidding. You can stay. But the next like 10 or 11 that I have, you must go from I want to buy and be Mr. Moneybags. Oh, ha, ha, ching. No, I want you to go from that to being Mr. Learning Hands. What's up? And I want you to go, instead of having diamond hands, have education hands. I want you to look at these unbiasedly. I want you to come up with a clean slate. You're not trying to buy these. I want you to learn from these. Intermediate traders, I can trust you to make the right decision. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but these are good ones for you guys to go off of to diversify. And even if you don't play them tomorrow, in 3-4 weeks, in a month, those will still be very viable, I believe. So beginners, let's go. Let's learn. Intermediate traders, diversify your portfolio before you catch this fade. And these are great options too. Let's check them out. So as I said, if you're new here, new kid, we see that I don't turn off the indicators during this section. It just takes too long, and I know you guys have families to get back to and eat dinner, and you probably want to do things besides listen to me ramble on for hours. Some of you probably don't mind that, but I mean, I get ADHD brain. I don't forget what I'm talking about. ARDX is a great one because the EMA lines, it just confirmed. And again, I was watching it on the EMA lines. I've been watching. I called it before. I was watching it down here. I didn't buy it, but like it broke up. I was like, that's nice for them. And it came down to retest this line. It's showing life. Now, is this going to be some mega play? Oh, we're going to make, no, you're going to make some money. Okay, if it does run up, maybe you get 4 or 5, maybe a good 7%. And again, it's low risk because you're going to be a smart person and use the EMA lines as your as your stop loss. So 4%, you got about 2 to 1. But this thing has, when it gets above both EMA lines, what to do? Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. So this is a good area to be at. If it holds here, ARDX could go stupid. For real. AUTL, interesting. Interesting play. I've been watching it for a while. I haven't actually called it yet because it's been on a downtrend. And it's like, why would I call it downtrending stock when the market's going up? Weird. But, you know, I don't know what the therapeutics company does. They probably suck at something. But look at this. I need email lines right now. Yeah, well, I guess what's important to see is that I'm dumb. But it broke above the 50, and that's what I'm looking at. But you look at this downtrend, it's interesting because it just broke it. And it was perfect. It was going perfectly perfect. And then, So, is this a good play? I think. This is a really hard read because I don't know what the hell these people are doing. That while the market's been so bullish, it's just been tanking. So I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's like an inverse of something. I don't know. It's weird. But the 50, you can put the email lines on. And again, it's broken above the 50 and the 10 now. And I think you may have room to run up to at least the 20 or the 200, which may be a good. If it breaks above this, could be good. So again, I like it. I don't love it. If you're an intermediate trader, you know, check it out. It could be pretty good. Just the word banned triggers me now because it made me look stupid on TikTok because I made a TikTok about it. I'm like, hey, it's a pretty good looking trade. And then I put this trend line and it said, oh, I think it's a good trade, Evan? You idiot. And it went, see you, nerd. And it tanked on me. So all the kids made fun of me and I was like, I hate all of you. So is this a good support play? It is. Do I have bias in my heart against banned? I do. Am I going to buy it? No, because I hate them because it made me feel stupid. But this is definitely a good support area. Again, I looked at it over here. It's already up again, 4%. More risky. If it breaks above this resistance line, it holds. Possibly go for it. If it breaks above the 50, possibly go for it. It's too much for me. It was good earlier, but now it's kind of moving up. I'm kind of like, eh. And banned also dupe me, and I hate them. CTLT, I called yesterday, and I was like, this is a good play. And again, I'm not like some genius. It's already up, 3%. It's at resistance. It has to break this, and then it has to break above both EMA lines. That's why the price target's right there. And if it does do that, you're going to have a huge run-up. So again, keep an eye on CTLT. If you're not in now, it's too late, honestly, for you to get a good value on it. And now you got to play either the confirmation, which you're getting. If it holds here, it holds right this. That's your first candle above the 10. I like to see a whole candle above the 10 before I buy in, but that's fine too. And if it does get above both EMA lines and holds, ooh, like Birdman, where my hands were going to be in some money. I like it. We'll see. You may have forgotten about FSLY, but that's why you watch my channel, because I don't forget anything. And we know that FSLY on a long time period. Snack? Ooh, delicious. Snack, I like it. So it has a really nice run going right now, and it's right where we would have bought it in before, and we're right here again. So again, am I like some super sold, like it's gonna smack boy? Like, no, I'm not. All right, it has so much room to run up that's gonna look really good. But the issue is the 200 still here. It just broke above the 50, and you go to the 1 year chart, you can see that it's actually bouncing at the 1 year's 200, and that's what's making a huge problem for it. And so if it can get above, 79.60 and hold, well, now we're in a different ball game. That lines up pretty well too with this resistance. So FSLY long term, yeah, I see no problem holding it for a few months and making some money, in my opinion. But again, there's a few things above it. I want to see what it's going to do. HRTX, and this is what's so gorgeous about proper technical analysis and what I always talk about with some stuff, and that is clearing this dummy main lines off right now because it doesn't matter, my dude. But we're watching it over here, and I was like, hey, look at this. Look at it right here. And I said, this is a nice uptrend right here. And then it broke. And when it broke this strong support that was right where my cursor is, I said, F it, we got to redo it. And now we can see it's in a almost perfect downtrend into this support area. And so now that we've done that and looked at it, this is a really good area to buy into. You can make an easy 7-8%. It is downtrending, which should be a bit concerning. But this is a really good support area. Right here is fine. It's $16. Anyone here is a good support area. It's looking pretty good. And again, what's the worst case scenario? It breaks everything. All right, you lost 4%, but you can make about 8, 10. If the market changes, 12, 13. It looks pretty good. So HRTX, a great example of not only why you need to keep a list of stocks, but build a relationship with them. And then always, in my opinion, and what I always go off of, which a lot of folks say in different ways, but they don't actually always know how to pronounce it or like how to actually teach it. As soon as a strong support or resistance is broken, I always reset my trend lines. And that's a really good example with surgery. And this is one I was going to call earlier, but again, it's taking off, so I took it off the list. I was watching surgery for a long time and playing it. I actually called surgery right here, which sounds like I'm lying, but I'm not. You go back and check. And I got really lucky. It looks pretty good. And then did that. I was like, holy shit. When this resistance here got broken, you know what I did? I erased everything. I stopped trying to chart it because it's no longer valid until we see more data. I haven't called it in the last 46 days, but guess what? I've been watching it for 46 days because I want to see what it's going to do. And as of right now, this is a nice lesson for you that's off the beaten path. Look at this. I'm going to take this line right here. This is what I'm watching. Look at that. Now watch this. Oh, does that line up almost perfectly? Does this thing make channels? Is this making a new channel? So am I waiting for it to get down here or to kind of get down here? I am. So again, when it comes to HRTX, you must always have the honesty to erase stuff and redo it. That's the lesson for the day. You're welcome. Next is PAGS. PAGS is right where we want it. Again, it's downtrending, so do you want to catch a falling knife? No. And I think the best play right here is you want to buy, if it holds here, sick. Buy into it because it's at value. But you're going to need to break above both EMA lines. That's 4% away, and they're both right there. They're very strong. You're almost betting that it's going to, in the next few days, break above both and make you a lot of money. So, again, would I wait for a crossover? Yeah, I probably would. So, PAGS looking forward. Earnings play is beating the shit out of it. They almost always come back, so I wouldn't be too concerned long term. But as of right now, good uptrend, good value. It's just that I wish the EMA lines were a little bit more separated because they're going to be real hard to get above later. But it's pretty good. PRTS is right in value, and look at it, showing some life. Now again, let's not be idiots. What's our reward going to be? Well, before when I called it over here, it would have been about 1670. But we kind of zoom in, we can see that both EMA lines, it can get above the 50. So I definitely would make my price target, 16, 15, 75 until it really shows up. If it busts above that, hell yeah, go long. But until it really does that, I'm a bit nervous to really put the price target any higher than about 16, 1590, 1580. But, price-wise, it's a good pickup. Next is SDC. I called it yesterday, and again, it was an intermediate play. And boy, would you know, it came down retested. Like I said, I thought it was going to. It's already up 5%. This thing can make or break your whole week. This thing can make stupid money, but it could also lose you stupid money. So you got to have a stop loss. Earnings beat the shit out of it. It came back. Now the pattern, this trend line, look at this. The trend line got broken, so what am I going to do? Yeah, get rid of it. It's gone. I'm done. I don't care about it anymore. This right here is a bit more logical to me. You know, it's uptrending. One break, uptrending. So this is all right for here. You know, it's right there. It lines up perfectly. So it's at the POC. It consolidates. Will this be down here for the next 5, 10, 15 days? Sure. It could take some time. It really can. So don't get your heart set on this one, you know, and then if it takes some time, get discouraged. It's a really good value. Worst case, you lose 7, 8%, but you could easily run up and make 15, 20 pretty easily. So SDC, a good pickup. I like it a lot. Last but not least today is VECO. VECO is very similar to AES and AMP and also DBD. They're all running up. The only difference with VECO is that I think the reward's a little bit lower. Like you can make maybe 4 or 5%, and then it's gonna hit this very strong resistance right here. So I like it. I like it a lot, but the reward's not really there. Now the support is super strong, and given the market conditions right now, with it kind of running up nicely, you know, if you can wait for it to get above this 10 EMA line right here, if it can hold above this, that's a great sign to go long. And this does have massive potential. It does have massive run-up potential, 10, 8. But that's also why it's going to be for intermediate. So this thing also will shit the bed. And so if you're not ready for that, you can get burned, and it just crossed red. It's curling. It's fair. So again, it's a good setup. It's just more volatile with a little bit less reward. So it can be an intermediate play. And there you guys have it. Those are our 8 really good. Well, I guess 7 now. We had to delete smaller. XOXO. 7 really good beginner plays and some really good intermediate ones. Again, if you're an intermediate trader, any of these are fine for you beginners. I insist you take 1 or 2. Even intermediate traders, you should not be taking all 17 of these and being like, I'm going to buy all 17 tomorrow. YOLO. Like, no, you should be buying 1, 2, maybe 3. If the market looks good, then you can go from there. This is not a race. It's a marathon. These are great to watch. These are great educational ones. They're super clear. If you only want to come here for the education of learning how to chart better, welcome. That's great. If you want to actually buy these, sure. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. But these are also great ones that I'm watching as well. With that being said, if you enjoyed this kind of content, if you sat through a 42-minute video and you hated every minute of it, your life sucks, dog. I don't know what you're doing in your meantime then, because you could have left minutes ago. So if you enjoy this a lot, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. It does help me. The more times you share it, the more times you comment, the more times you like it, the more folks will be able to see this. And again, that raises my ego and my clout some. You know, I got 4.5 thousand subscribers. What's up? But at the same time, some other, you know, John or Jane who needs help can actually use this and actually learn something. That's really more important to me than anything. If you also enjoy the content a lot, the Discord is available. I got about 17. I have about 16 spots left open until I close this one off, and then we wait a month or 2 and start a new one for some folks. So if you really like the content, you want some newsletters that I make educationally, if you really want some live stuff, you want to be able to ask me questions one-on-one, the community is beautiful. Look into it, out for a 7-day trial. Otherwise, have a good rest of your Wednesday, my dudes. And happy St. Patty's Day to you. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.